So, I figured before I do the next video and playing around with some of the optional stuff for this game, I felt that I need to unpack what we've just witnessed over the course of the past 12 videos of this game. I've had a few minutes to kind of try and understand what's just happened. And I'll give you guys a little inside spoiler here. The video I just recorded was the first video of this recording session that I'm sitting down for. It was about 4 o'clock. And I thought to myself, well, I've got about 3 hours or so spare to do some recording. Hopefully I can finish Dino Crisis during that time. I want to get the rest of the series up before Resident Evil 2 Remake goes live on Friday. And then, after 20 minutes or so of playing this game, I witnessed one of the most sudden and almost out-of-place ending sequences I have ever seen in my life. Now, I've played a hell of a lot of video games in the past 7 years on the channel. In the past, 15 years of my life. And I've never seen anything like it. I honestly sit here, I don't know what to make of it. I can't say it's good, because there's so much that is not explained. And the fact that we just learned so much important information about the game, about the lady been with us is our daughter from effectively the future, that dinosaurs have taken over the world way into the future, and there are now efforts to reverse that process, the whole Noah's Ark thing, the whole Regina having the third energy data, going back to the present to build a perfect time gate to come back and kind of avoid what happened in the facility and saving Paula because Dylan doesn't want to leave. And then it just ends. It literally just ends. I knew very quickly, having started this series a couple of weeks ago, that this game was clearly going to be a mile different from the original Dino Crisis, for sure. You know, Dino Crisis 1 was that very sort of survival horror-esque, very Resident Evil-y sort of game, This takes a totally different approach, very arcadey, shooting, points, tallying and combining, messing around with weapons and, getting kill chains, that sort of thing. The story in the game has been not particularly deep, but engaging enough. It's nice to see Regina, although her effectively relegated to a secondary role is a bit weird. I know maybe not necessarily everyone agrees with that, but in my view, it's clear that the game portrays Dylan as the main character, and Regina is a close second. This game has also introduced, I think for a game released in 2000, had a lot of cool little features, like switching between characters, going to the same areas but different people having different abilities, different weapons, I think the game had a lot of cool little things which, in 2019, we expect for granted these game mechanics, but I think for the turn of the millennium, it's pretty cool and pretty innovative, I think, for its time. But I just can't help but sit here, and it just feels like such a downer on this game to just end like it did. And I can't look past that, and it's really sad. I have enjoyed this. It's been a fun 12 videos. It's been a fun series, to run around, go on more with dinosaurs, some absurd voice acting, some strange storytelling, but just moments that almost happened, almost like David's death just kind of happened because it kind of had to happen out of nowhere. Edward City was cool. I like the sort of the feel of it, of being teleported back in time and just totally overrun was pretty sweet. Some enemies, a bit of a pain in the arse, admittedly, but not too bad. And I'm sure there's plenty more I could have explored with these weapons. But, it's like with the weapons we still hadn't bought. I wasn't worried about that because I was expecting to try them. Because I didn't think the game was going to suddenly end like that. And honestly, that's what I mean. That the whole load of things that we hadn't touched, I thought we had about 2-3 hours left to go, and it ends. And it's absolutely baffling. And it's I think it's a real shame for what I think has been a good game to end as abruptly as that. Is I honestly a real disappointment to me. I'm gonna not let it affect the game, which I think has some cool, fun gameplay to it, and is a good blast. But just knowing that's how it ends is just deflating, 100%, and it's a real shame. Would I play this game again? Probably not. I think it was fun for a blast, certainly. And we've got the extra crisis stuff to mess with in a short time. But outside of that, would I replay the game to explore like the weapons I didn't get to? Maybe, maybe if I had like enough few hours and didn't have much to do before, yeah, sure, I'll load a previous save. We'll screw around with some stuff. That sounds like fun. But yeah, just I literally I can't sit here and personally defend the ending of this game. I just don't have it in me. When I've played so many games that have ended in such amazing, fantastic, and conclusive manners, from all sorts of things, RE games sort of leading on. Of course, my favorite ending of all time being Final Fantasy X, one of the best game endings, I think, ever. Certainly one of the most emotional, as far as I'm concerned. To just Regina walking through the gate, they do the salute, she reluctantly goes, and that's it. We don't know if she manages to rescue... Well, surely she managed to rescue Dylan. We saw Dylan driving a fucking car in a city for no reason, just happily sauntering down, We don't know what happened to Paula. Is she like forever in a wheelchair? She can't use her legs? Did she die? Did she get out? I assume she got out. Otherwise, Dylan probably wouldn't have left because Dylan has to, be with his family. He can't let her die, even though she's his daughter from the future, which he hasn't yet had. I've never been in that situation, so I couldn't accurately know what that feels like. But there's just, there's so much left open. I've got no issues with video games leaving stuff open for potential future games, but literally, it's so open-ended. The story, as far as I'm concerned, has not finished. That is not a conclusion to a game. And if I'd have been down an arcade back in the day, playing like this game is like a light gun shooter. I'm aware there is a light gun shooter Dino Crisis game I've been informed about in the comments. If I played that game and I got through all that mess with that boss fight, nuked it with the satellite, had that cutscene, and that was it, I'd have felt robbed. And I'm 100% serious. I'd have felt robbed there. I'd have thought, what the hell? The game was fun and all, but to just suddenly end. It's a shame. Anyway, so that's my 10 minutes of unraveling this game and unraveling my thoughts. Next time, for sure, we will be heading on to Extra Crisis Mode. We're going to explore a little bit of additional content to see what else is in there. That sounds like that could be fun for a couple of videos. And then, that is going to be it. I know I mentioned at the end of the last video, but especially also in this video as well, I am very curious to hear thoughts of people about their views on the game itself. I think the game itself is very fun to play. I'm not going to knock that, but just I don't think I can get over that ending. I really don't think I can. I think I'm going to have nightmares the next few nights about that ending. It's going to literally haunt me. Oh, man. Oh, Capcom. What a company. Anyways, thank you guys for listening to me rambling for 10 minutes. Next time, Extra Crisis Mode.